Welcome to the Neural Talks, your gateway to the forefront of AI innovation. I'm your host, Ranjith Melarkode, and together we'll explore the AI revolution with the brightest minds pushing boundaries and shaping the future. Through candid conversations, they share hard-won insights as we unlock the transformative power of AI. Get informed, get inspired. This is the future, and you're in the front row. Hey, Goda. Welcome to another edition of the Neural Shorts. Thrilled to have you here.
Hey, same here. Looking forward to our talk.
Super. So, Goda, could you give the audience a little bit of a background about yourself and your exposure to AI, GenAI, please?
Sure. So, I work with Swiggy, right? I'm leading the data science and analytics space for Swiggy, delivering hyper-local convenience for millions of customers. So that's what keeps me excited every day. Started off this journey when data science and AI probably was not that much of a buzz or a term. Started in operations research, basic optimization stats, which has evolved into this field over time.
So, I think your background just set the tone for the next question. So, there are a lot of professionals, business folks, students today considering AI, and today they hear about a lot of Gen AI today. But there is also this aspect of classical AI. And today, of course, everybody equates AI to Gen AI. What is your perspective, Goda? Would love to, would love for you to sort of help people think about this and how they should approach this.
See, when we talk about AI or classical AI, I think it started off with enabling humans to do what they used to do at scale, right? So that might involve something like detecting a pattern, right? And earlier humans used to do it based on whatever their observation with five senses was, and then we had data and machine learning to do that, right? Then probably based on the patterns you detect, maybe you should be able to predict what's going to happen and plan ahead of time, which is what humans used to do, and then machines started doing that. Then the last part was, of course, making the decisions based on what you're predicting, what you have detected as a pattern. How do you decide and move forward? Like that's the decision part of it. So mainly, if I would say, AI started off with these parts of detecting, predicting, and making a decision, right? But with generative AI, I think rather than enabling machines to do things better, generative AI has made machines human-like. By that, what I mean is providing capability to machines like being able to see, hear, talk, so it feels more human-like and generate new content, which was not part of either detecting, deciding, or predicting, right? So I think that's how generative AI is different from AI, where they're also started generating new content like humans, right? Whether it could be voice, it could be pictures, it could be, just language, text, all of it. And that's why I think now we are associating everything to generative AI as AI, because that's the most advanced capability in this evolution.
Perfect. I mean, that was very, very well, summed up, Goda. So, you spoke about, deploying ML AI, at scale, for Swiggy today. So classical AI versus generative AI, commercializing or deploying it for commercial use and at scale. What perspectives would you like to share with the audience?
See, I think any business, like even businesses like Swiggy, right? It always needs a mix of both classical AI and generative AI to really solve customer problems, right? But certain things that was more difficult in classical AI, where for every use case you had to build another model and deploy it. Whereas generative AI brings you more general capabilities where, for example, just detecting sentiment of something was a separate model earlier. Now, the same model enables you detect some sentiment, same model enables you summarize. So it has made the capabilities more generic. But things you need to take care of that you really need to spend a lot of time understanding the use case, building the knowledge and metadata of the domain, and make any model adapt to your particular business domain remains the same, whether it's classical AI or generative AI. I think that's the first part, right? The second part is definitely everything comes off with the trade-off and decisions you need to make. just if I have to talk about generative AI, for example, if you think about just a conversational recommendation system, for example, right? So you can obviously make it very customer experience friendly by adding chain of thought, but that adds to latency. So how do you trade off quality with latency is an example. Or you can have more longer prompts to give more context to make it better from customer experience. But again, again, you will have cost implications. So how do you have experience versus cost trade-off, right? And obviously, there are things you will need to invest in. For example, any organization that has to put generative AI at scale has to invest in some kind of middle layer system. That it could be like your vector stores where you can retrieve your embeddings from. How do you do your prompt tuning and evaluation of generative AI models better? Or even things like even like while prompting, how do you have some rate limiting things so that you can optimize on cost? These will be common capabilities you will need for any use case. So you have to invest in that middle layer because productionization is very different from a fancy hackathon. That was our first learning while implementing generative AI. And a lot of focus on human in the loop because generative AI doesn't, I don't think it will replace humans. It will augment humans' capabilities much better than classical AI did, which means you will always need to now work in sync with generative AI, making it better and better, being in the loop and providing that feedback, making sure when you're going at scale, one wrong thing is a big PR risk, for example, right? So how do you kind of always have that human in the loop system to evaluate, to vet, to reinforce? So all these become challenges, whereas the buzz may make you feel like now everything is easy, you just need 10 minutes to create anything. It has just created new set of things you need to take care of, challenges you need to handle.
No, that's really perfect, Goda. I think so you covered a broad range of topics. You started by saying the models today are much more broad-based, so the capability is much easier for someone to actually absorb. But however, don't stop paying attention to a variety of things, including human in the loop, is what you said. Well, I'm sure those lessons are very valuable to our users, and I hope people are actually going to use them. Thank you so much, Goda. We look forward to having you on our next Neural Talk episode.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Neural Talks. Hit subscribe or follow us on LinkedIn to stay informed of many more great episodes on AI coming up. We're the Neural, where humans meet AI.